Police continue to examine videos of comments made by actor Bob Vylan and Kneecap at Glastonbury at the festival enters its Thursday. Rapper Bob Vylan of rap punk duo Bob Vylan on Saturday led crowds on the festival's West Holt stage in chants of free Palestine and death to the IDF, before a member of Irish rap trio Kneecap suggested fans start a riot outside his bandmate's upcoming court appearance. Also on the lunchtime news, a 7-year-old girl has died and another child remains in critical condition in a hospital after a tree fell in the park in Essex on Saturday afternoon. Air ambulances, fire crews and police rushed to Chalkwell Park on Saturday afternoon after reports of a collapsed tree just before 3 p.m. And supermarkets could be fined if they do not sell healthier food under a new government plan to tackle obesity. The Healthy Food Standard will apply to retailers and manufacturers in England as part of a 10-year strategy to cut diet-related diseases, the Department of Health and Social Care have said.
This is STV Lunchtime News with Nina Hussain.
Good afternoon. Police continue to examine videos of comments made by actor Bob Vylan and Kneecap at Glastonbury as the festival enters its third day. Rapper Bob Vylan of rap punk duo Bob Vylan on Saturday led crowds on the festival's West Holt stage in chants of free Palestine and death to the IDF, before a member of the Irish rap trio Kneecap suggested fans start a riot outside his bandmate's upcoming court appearance. Kneecap's set will be available on iPlayer, but Bob Vylan's will not, as STV News entertainment reporter Riyash Davda reports.
Before Kneecap had even taken to Glastonbury's West Holt stage, punk duo Bob Vylan caused controversy, demanding the freeing of Palestine, but then calling for the death of those in the Israel Defense Forces. They departed to crowd cheers that only grew as Kneecap arrived. Their set was incredibly divisive, following a terrorism charge for one of its members.
Glastonbury, I'm a free man!
Liam Ogohani, who performs under the name Makara, celebrated what he called freedom. Last week at Westminster Magistrates Court, he was released on unconditional bail after allegedly displaying a Hezbollah flag at a gig last year, something he denied. Today, his bandmate Nisha O'Carrollane recognised a possibly unwise cry for fans to start a riot at the next court date, later asking for just support instead.
For a trumped-up terrorism charge, we'll go to support Makara, we'll start a riot outside the court.
The group thanked Glastonbury organisers, the Evises, for not dropping them from the lineup.
The pressure that family was under.
Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer said it wasn't appropriate for them to perform and was the subject of profanity-laden chants from Kneecap and the crowd. Those in attendance were firm backers of the Irish trio.
Always the same message, always the same songs, and yeah, we'll keep going.
Artists have always had spoken out politically, and it's an important thing.
I love Kneecap, I'm Irish, I just love the whole message and the music, so why would I not be here?
The government has strongly condemned Bob Vylan's actions. The Culture Secretary has spoken to the BBC Director General to see what due diligence was done ahead of Bob Vylan's performance and its live broadcast. Meanwhile, Avon and Somerset Police has tonight said it is assessing videos of comments made by today's acts on the West Holt stage to decide whether any offences have been committed, requiring a criminal investigation. The BBC has acknowledged that some of the comments made during Bob Vylan's set were deeply offensive. They put a warning on the live stream on iPlayer and said they have no intention of making the set available on demand. However, when it comes to Kneecap, who weren't live stream, the BBC has said that they will not ban artists. They will make sure everything falls within their editorial guidelines and plan to put up a version of their performance on demand available for people to see on all digital platforms very soon.
A 7-year-old has died and another child remains in critical condition in hospital after a tree fell in a park in Essex on Saturday afternoon. Air ambulances, fire crews and police rushed to Chalkwell Park on Saturday afternoon after reports of a collapsed tree just before 3 p.m. 2 children, girls aged 7 and 6, suffered serious injuries and were taken to hospital, Essex police said. The 7-year-old has died and the 6-year-old girl remains in critical condition. The 2 children, aged 7 and 6, suffered serious injuries and were taken to hospital. A police spokesman said that the girl's family are receiving support from officers. In a statement, the force said, "A child has sadly died and another is in a critical condition in hospital following an incident at a park in Southend. Inquiries are continuing at the park and an investigation is ongoing to establish the circumstances around this incident." The majority of the park remains open, but we would like to continue to ask the public to avoid the clearly cordoned off areas. We are in the process of setting up a public portal for people with concerns or information around the incident to reach out to us. An update around this will be issued in the coming days. Officers alongside ambulance and fire service colleagues are responding. We were alerted shortly before 3 p.m. to reports of a tree falling in the park. There have been a number of casualties and our work at the scene is ongoing. We will please ask the public to avoid this area where possible while this work continues. Updates will be issued as soon as possible. A number of children were caught under the tree and emergency services treated them at the scene. 3 other children received hospital treatment for minor injuries. Witnesses said dozens of people rushed to try and lift the tree once it had fallen. Asan Madden, an accountant from Westcliff-on-Sea, was playing in a cricket match nearby where he heard a horrendous screeching scream. He said, "We got bystanders to help. It must have been 40 to 50 people who tried to lift the fallen tree up. And to our horror, these 2 girls, poor girls, were stuck underneath it. It was horrendous. It was like a nightmare that you'd sort of wake up from and then someone would tell you it wasn't true." The East of England Ambulance Service said 6 ambulances, 3 ambulance officer vehicles, the London Air Ambulance and Kent Air Ambulance were sent to the scene. Chief Superintendent Leighton Hammett said families are facing an unimaginable hardship this evening and all of our thoughts are with them at this time. Finally, the supermarkets could be fined if they do not sell healthier food under a new government plan to tackle obesity. The healthy food standard will apply to retailers and manufacturers in England as part of a 10-year strategy to cut diet-related diseases, the Department of Health and Social Care have said. The policy will bring in mandatory health targets for retailers, but they would have flexibility in how to meet them, such as tweaking recipes, running price promotions on healthier items, or redesigning store layouts. Supermarkets will be required to report sales data, and those that fail to hit targets could face fines. Innovation agency Nesta suggested. It analysed 36 million supermarket transactions, finding an average shopping basket health score of 67 out of 100, and has set a target to raise that to 69. Modelling shows raising the score by just 2 points would cut obesity by around a fifth over 3 years, helping more than 3 million people to achieve a healthier weight. Health Secretary Wes Streeting said the government's ambition for kids today is for them to be a part of the healthiest generation of children ever. This is within our grasp. With the smart steps we're taking today, we can give every child a healthy start to life. Our brilliant supermarkets already do so much work for our communities and are trying to make their stores healthier, and we want to work with them and other businesses to create a level playing field. The government aims to make it mandatory for supermarkets to report sales data by the end of this Parliament in 2029. Ken Murphy, Chief Executive of Tesco, welcomed the announcement, while Simon Roberts, Chief Executive of Sainsbury's, called it an important and positive step forward in helping the nation to eat well. Catherine Jenner, Director of Obesity Health Alliance, said this is a fair and evidence-based prescription for better health. Big businesses urgently need the government to level the playing field to help them focus on selling products that help people live well. And that's it this lunchtime. Raggy Omar will be here with the STV Evening News at 6:30. The news where you are follows the national weather for that heatwave. But from all of us here this lunchtime, bye bye.